Hello everybody, my name is Nerdy Lover and welcome to another episode of our Serie A version of the football betting show here on YouTube. And, we didn't do an episode last week because we simply didn't have the time. But perhaps this was a good thing because we didn't have a great weekend. We did take Juventus and Atalanta, which did come in. And we picked up £11.30 in that particular match. But Udinese really embarrassed us. We took Roma to win away from home, and they lost 4-0, which cost us £20. So to start off September, our winning record is only 50%, and we are down £8.70 in this one. We do have two more selections for this weekend's action, so hopefully we're going to turn a corner here. So without further ado, let's just jump into the picks. First up, we have 8th place Inter Milan hosting 6th place Torino. And Inter have shown good form against sides they should be beating comfortably. The issues have really emerged when they faced a higher calibre of opposition, losing both to Lazio and to AC Milan last weekend. But I would put Torino into the category of a team that they should be beating fairly comfortably, so that's not really too much of a concern here. Torino are one of the better sides away from home this year, winning 2 of their 3 games. Although stats aren't everything, when we look at the oppositions that Torino have faced, they have picked up 3 wins against relative minnows at the Serie A level in Monza, Cremonese and Lecce. As such, Torino are in a bit of a false position, and I do not expect them to finish anywhere near 6th place. When we look at the head-to-head records between the two sides, Inter Milan have won 5 of the last 6 encounters, and Torino have not taken any points from the San Siro since the early stages of the 2018-19 season. Now, Inter did lose 2-0 to Bayern Munich in the midweek, so maybe rotation and fatigue will be a factor, as well as a little bit of a knock of confidence. I still like them at 1-2 to win at home against Torino, so we're going to be starting off a Serie A accumulator by starting off with Inter Milan to win. Next up, 18th place Sampdoria host 3rd placed AC Milan, and Sampdoria are yet to win from home, sitting in 17th when we categorise the table by home form. 0 wins, 2 draws and a single defeat, but to Sampdoria's credit, they have been a stubborn opponent, securing draws against the likes of Juventus and Lazio so far this season. And their most recent result was a 2-1 loss to Hellas in a well-contested match. However, they did give up 5 key chances in this particular game. Sampdoria are also struggling to create up top, scoring 0.4 goals per game from 0.8 key chances created. And on the other side of that, defensively they are a bit frail, conceding 1.8 goals per game. This disparity is not good for long-term success, and you can see why they're down in the relegation zone in the early goings of this season. Milan, on the other hand, are unbeaten this season, winning 3-2 in the Milan derby last weekend, and Milan did also see midweek action in the Champions League, drawing 1 each against Red Bull Salzburg. So fatigue and rotation may be a factor we want to consider here. Looking at the head-to-heads, Milan have no losses in the last 6 games against Sampdoria, and Milan have also scored first and led at half-time in 4 of the last 5 encounters. Now, I would have been tempted by Milan half-time, full-time, or straight-up Milan half-time, but I refrained to do so because they've only been leading at the interval in 1 of their 6 games so far this season. I do feel that Milan will win against a struggling Sampdoria side, so we're going to be adding them as the second leg of our accumulator that we're going to continue building as we look forward here. Our third and final leg of the accumulator for this episode sees table-topping 1st place Atalanta hosting relegation-dwelling 19th place Cremonese. Atalanta are top of the tree after 5 games with 4 wins from their first 5 matches, only dropping points in their draw with AC Milan on match day 2. Atalanta are averaging 1.8 goals per game from 2.2 key chances. So what we can infer from this is that they are clinical and they do not waste good chances when they are presented. Teyun Kupermayos has been the standout player for Atalanta so far, scoring 4 goals in his first 5 starts, and he's contributed to the creative build-up play as well, averaging 1 key pass per game from midfield. Now, Cremonese have started the year off with 4 straight losses, but appeared to turn a corner a little bit by securing a draw recently against Sassuolo. Sassuolo themselves have not really started that well, so It's not the most impressive pickup of points, but at least they've stopped the losing streak. Cremonse's stats do not paint a very pretty picture, as they average 0.8 goals per game from 0.8 key chances, so they are clinical but not especially creative. Cremonse's main issue is due to their poor defence. They're conceding almost 2 goals per game. And my angle is that if Atalanta take this game seriously, there's no issues with them winning this one at home. They're also pretty good value, but I'm going to be adding them into the accumulator along with the 2 Milan clubs for a triple for this episode. Our fourth and final selection, but only our second bet, will be a single, and it features 9th place Lazio and 13th place Hellas Verona. Lazio have started off well, unbeaten in their first 4 games, but they did lose last match day to Napoli by a margin of 2 goals to 1. Lazio also feature in Thursday's night's Europa League match, so they're not going to be 100% fresh coming into this game. Hellas have the opposite record. They were winless in their first 4 matches, and they won their first game last weekend, 2 goals to 1 against Sampdoria. With no European football to concern themselves with, they will have a full week to prepare for the match against Lazio, and I would not be shocked if Hellas Verona picked up a result here today. When we look at the head-to-head last season, Hellas took 4 points from Lazio last year, including a 3-3 draw in this fixture, so I'm hoping for goals on Sunday. Further examination of the head-to-head record makes our pick quite clear, as 4 of the last 5 games have resulted in both teams to score. When we look at the individual records for this season, in 4 of Lazio's last 5 games, both teams have scored, and the same thing can be said about 7 of the last 8 games Hellas have played in competitive fixtures. Both teams to score in a single is going to wrap up today's episode. So all that's left to do is jump across to the spreadsheet and have a quick recap of our 2 selections. And here we are back on the spreadsheet. So 2 games in our selections for today's episode. The first of which is a triple. It will be Inter Milan, AC Milan and Atalanta all to win at odds of 1.82. A £20 stake, we hope, returns 36.40. And the second match taking place on the Sunday is Lazio versus Hellas Verona. Pretty good odds for both teams to score, considering the statistical backing that selection does have, at odds of 3/4 or 0.75, a £20 stake to return 15 profit. So this weekend we will be risking a further £40 in order to try and pick up 51.40. Hopefully we can make up from the mistakes of last week. Well, we've done that in one sense. We've recorded a video for Serie A. And hopefully we can do it in the second sense of improving our hit rate from 50% and try and get it further up to around about the 65-75%. So, all that remains for me to say, if you made it to this point in the video, please drop a like down below. My name's been Nerdy Lover, and as always, have yourself a lovely day.